What's up, guys? Welcome to Love to Deadlift. This is an unusual video. This is an hamstring focused leg workout. This is actually a max effort deadlift workout. I'm starting with squats because I need to start the leg workout with squats. I did a lot of warm up before. Did step ups, walking lunges, stiff like a deadlift with light weights to just warm up the lower back, and some crunches to really get me moved in and into the workout. My goal in this year is to bring up my deadlift up to 400, 450, or 500 pounds because I'm already a 400-pound deadlifter because I can use a double deadlift with 60 pounds of band tension and I can deadlift 315, which means I am a 400-pound deadlifter, and I have pulled 400 pounds deadlift before. But my focus specifically this year is to bring up my deadlift to 500 pounds. That's my goal. Last year I set up goals on the front squat and the overhead press. Overhead press, I went up to 145 pounds. Strict standing press up to 1 rep max, which is paused. And I went up to 180 pounds on the front squat. Again, as to grass pause. This year, my main focus is deadlift and bring up my shoulders, arms, and other factors. And for arms, I mostly do chin ups and push ups because I can't tolerate more extra volume more than that. I started the workout today with squats. I just went up to 180 pounds and we moved to deadlift. Deadlift, you can see I have used three variations here. One is a conventional deadlift, a sumo deadlift, a stiff legged sumo deadlift, and I use the conventional deadlift at different variations. One is flat on the floor, the other one is with a single deadlift, the other one is single deficit and a double deficit, and I add different bands for different resistance. Now with deadlift is your strongest lift. I don't care who you are, what your training cycle is. Your strongest lift will be deadlift or a low bar squat because both work under the same mechanism. But here we are specifically talking about the deadlift. So you, if you're a natural or a healthy young male, you can reach up to 315 or 280 very soon. But after there is when you will stall because your grip will start giving up, your hamstrings will be weak, your traps will be weak. Two of the There are three muscles which three factors which stop you from progressive overloading on the deadlift. One, the biggest, most important factor is your grip because your grip gives up because you use straps. Now, straps have their place. I'm not ditching the straps, or I myself have used straps during different training cycles. But for me, more specifically at this point of my time in my training life, I feel that chalk brings additional or better value than straps because chalk builds your grip strength. Okay, chalk builds your grip strength, but straps do not build your grip strength. Straps helps you grip the bar harder, but reduces the temperature or the sweat in your hand by actually increasing your natural grip strength. Now both are very different things. For me, my grip strength has increased by just using chalk. Now, look at this. If you're barbell rowing 180 pounds or 200 pounds for sets of 10, if you're using straps, you're eliminating your grip, your forearms, your biceps from the movement. Now, how many people have who do separate isolation work for their forearms and shoulders or forearms and biceps? Probably 90% of the people watching this video. If you remove the straps, or just do it bare hand with chalk, you don't need extra forearm work, you don't need extra bicep work because those are going to be directly linked in the pulling muscles. And second thing is your hamstring curl, reverse hyper, all these things are good, but what's going to overload the muscle here? The deadlift, the stiff legged deadlift, Romanian deadlift, sumo deadlift, squats. These basic heavy compound movements are what's going to stretch your muscle under load and give it a peak contraction because anyone can do a 20-pound leg. Like I said, anyone can do a 20 or a 30-pound leg curl, but What's a leg curl gonna do? It's just gonna isolate your hamstring, or more specifically, the short head of the hamstring. But compare that to a stiff like a deadlift. What's it gonna work? It's gonna work your upper back, it's gonna work your arms, because obviously it's gonna be a joke if I say it's gonna work your arms, but your arms are gonna be stabilizers. What's holding the bar? It's your arms, which is holding your bar. I'm not talking about these 100-pound stiff-legged deadlift where people do with belt and straps. No, I'm talking about the straight stiff-legged deadlift or Romanian deadlift with 200, 300, 400 pounds, where you see these top bodybuilders or powerlifting athletes who do that, because that is one of what's going to build your hamstring strength. Because guys, if you're having knee issues or back issues because of hamstring weakness, your hamstring is a bigger muscle when you compare it to the front of your legs, which is your quadriceps. Now, quads are good, they look good, but what's going to keep your knees healthy is your hamstrings. Now, what's going to build your hamstring? Deadlift variations, good morning variations, leg curls. Leg curls have their place, but leg curls should be done as an assistance exercise. It should not be the main. Your main workouts are going to be your stiff legged deadlifts, all your deadlift variations, and good morning variations, where you're actually hinging your back to create that stretch reflection, where you almost get that tearing feeling when you're hinging your back with a heavy weight. That's what is going to increase hypertrophy in those places and force it to grow. Because if you're having a leg workout where you have just 3 or 5 sets of hamstring, you're going to run into knee issues or knee problems very soon. It needs to be balanced, or more specifically, your quad work should just be 40% of your leg training. 60% should be glutes, hamstrings, and calves, because these are the biggest muscles of your lower body. Quads Quads are big, but even if you compare a squat, your hamstring and glutes and calves are just used as stabilizers. The main thing that moves it is actually your lower back and your quadriceps. So you need other exercises which is going to balance out it. So a basic leg workout would consist of a squat, a hinge, and after that, when you're not able to squat or deadlift anymore, that's when you add isolation exercises in the end to bring up your weakness. If your hamstring is weak, you add leg curls. If your quads are weak, you add leg extensions or leg presses. That needs to be at the end of your workout, but that shouldn't be the bread and butter of your workout. Alright guys, I'll catch you in the next video on the simple